and this is going to be my topic for today. We're going to have a story and then kind of a fun topic based on the story. And some of you guys have already kind of started the story for me. Chris is over in Indiana. He mentioned it's about negative 23 degrees, at least the wind chill is, and they're still making his girlfriend go to work. Well, here's a fun statistic to put in your pipe, and you're going to need a pipe because it's freaking cold out. Boom! Chicago will be colder than Antarctica, Mount Everest, and Siberia this week. Chicago is expected to have one of its coldest days on record this week, with temperatures on Wednesday forecasted to reach historic lows typically seen in some of the globe's most chilling locations. And they don't mean scary, they mean like actual cold. According to a local CBS station, low temperatures are expecting to reach 20 degrees below zero on Wednesday, which will reportedly be the lowest temperature ever recorded in the Windy City on January 30th. Ever. Real quick here. So for all the people out there, see, where's global warming now? That means global warming's not real. No, that's not what it means. Extremes in temperatures are indicators of climate change and global warming. More precipitation. Al Gore called that years ago, okay? So let's sort of, don't show up to Congress with a snowball in your hand going, derp. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's not what it is. This is actually an indicator that the climate is really screwed up and that we're in a whole lot of trouble. And we're going to talk about that more in the stream because of another story that's been sent. So anyway, let's just squash that misnomer right now. All right, so Chicago is expected to see a high of 12 below zero on Wednesday. That's the high. Oh, it's a balming 12 below zero. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. The forecast would reportedly place Chicago among some of the world's frostiest sites, including the South Pole, which is expected to see a high temperature of 4 below zero on the same day. Santa's nemesis, going to be a little warmer than Chicago. Barrow, Alaska, which is located north of the Arctic Circle, is expected to see a high of 7 below on Wednesday. Even the summit of Mount Everest is expected to be warmer than Chicago on Wednesday, with an expected high of 30, it added, and parts of Siberia are also expected to see temperatures or to see higher temperatures than the city that day. And the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, has warned of a potentially historic winter storm that will bring extreme cold to Illinois. And there's Flo. The picture of Flo, the progressive lady, hanging out. And the real tragedy of this story, you guys, is that none of my Chicago friends have asked to come visit. Like, none of them. I have a ton of friends that live in Chicago because I went to Indiana University. I went to a school in the Midwest. And nobody is like, hey, Ron, I don't know if you heard, but it is Antarctica where we live. It's hell, and we're getting the fuck out right now. We're getting out, and we're just going to come stay with you. You know, when I was homeless, and for those not in the know, yes, I was homeless. I was a comedian. I lived in my car for a while. I was passing through Chicago constantly. I kind of unofficially lived in Chicago. And I would stay on my friend's couch constantly. These were college buddies of mine. They're now married. And I would stay on their couch with their dogs and take care of the dogs in the daytime. And I was sort of their unofficial third roommate. And I can't believe they didn't, like, call in the favor. Now of all times. I can't believe they're just like, fuck this. We're going, Ron lives in Southern California. He owes us. Ron, I don't know if your couch is available or not, but it's available now because we're fucking coming. And I'd be like, you're right, I owe you. Come stay on the couch. Nobody's done that. Kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. I know what you're thinking. Ron, they probably have real jobs. I get it. But, I mean, can't you just tell that real job you're getting the fuck out of town? Plus, I mean, is that real job going to make you come in? It's negative 23 below. Chris's girlfriend still has to go to work, which is bullshit. She should just protest. That's ridiculous. I would, man, 23, I'd be like, I'm not showing up. I am not showing up. I've had day jobs before where they were like, who gives a shit? Come to work. But it's such bullshit. So let's see what you guys are saying. I guess my question for the day is anyone stoked about the cold? Obviously, you're not stoked about this because it means, it means we're in trouble as a species. It means the climate is messed up right now. There are a lot of problems. We're going to be talking about that more in the show today because of some of the stuff you guys sent. Global warming is real. Climate change is real. And we got to do something real fast, or we're not going to recognize the Earth. And our stay on it may be over. And when I say our, I mean humanity. We got to do something. The good news is we can still do something. The bad news is we're really behind schedule. We got to act yesterday. So, but does anyone dig the cold? I know it's a lighter question based on the heavy topic. So but just for fun, does anyone dig the cold? I'm not a cold guy. I'm just not. I've skied once in my life. I really enjoyed it. I would totally go again. But unless I'm doing some type of distinguished winter activity, which I seldomly do and I don't seek out, I can't stand the cold. I'd be fine if I never saw another snowflake in my life. I hate when the weather impedes my day. I hate that more than anything. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is one of those cities. It has shitty winters, but it's the worst of both worlds because Pittsburgh's the type of city, it's not as shitty as weather-wise as far as other places in the Rust Belt like upstate New York or Minneapolis or Wisconsin, but it's still bad enough that there's going to be ice and it's going to accumulate. So why I say that Pittsburgh is the worst of both worlds, Pittsburgh gets just enough snow that it impedes your daily life, but not enough that they really know how to deal with it. Places like Minneapolis, whatever. It could snow 2 feet. Roads will be cleared in an hour. They got it down to a science. That city knows what they're doing. Same with Chicago. Same with Rochester, New York. Syracuse. You get the idea. Canada. They know what they're doing. They're going to fix stuff and quick. But, cities like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, even like Indianapolis, probably, I'm just guessing, they don't get enough heavy precipitation that they really know how to deal with it, but they do get enough that it really fucks up their universe when it happens. So that's the worst of both worlds. I grew up with that, so I really grew to hate it. I like not having weather impede on my life at all. I live in Southern California. Sure, we may drop off into the ocean at any point, and sure, fires happen all the freaking time, but at least the roads aren't going to be fucked up. I mean, they are going to be fucked up because they're not maintained properly, but no ice patches. Take what you can get. So I'm a summer guy through and through. I'm a warm weather guy. I like the beach. I like to swim. I like to take long walks. I like to hike. And I like the fact that I live in a place where it's warm enough for me to do that today if I wanted to. And let me see what you guys are saying. Chris echoes, we get a decent amount of snow a year, but everyone in Indianapolis forgets how to drive in the snow. Keen says, if you live in California and say you love the cold, you're a liar. Fair enough. Well, then I guess I'm not lying. Herman says it's snowing in New Orleans. That really hurts my freaking heart, Herman. And I'm coming to you in March. I hope to see you in March, Herman. I'm coming to New Orleans in March. Grab your tickets at ronplacone.com. Daniel says, I love the cold because it makes me appreciate the summer more. That's a pretty optimistic way to look at it. I like that. I respect that. David likes beer. Is that an impression of what's his name? Who's the? Geez, I'm blanking on the guy's name. The Supreme Court guy. I like beer. I would drink beer. Oh God, I totally had a brain fart to that guy's name. Anyway, whatever. Kavanaugh, thank you. Kavanaugh. I like beer. Occupy New Paradigm. It's 31 degrees in Memphis, and I hate this shit. Say hello to Memphis for me. I love Memphis. I'm going to be close to you in March. I'm going to be in Oxford, Mississippi. That's kind of close to Memphis, if you can make the drive. Pam says, soon it will be raining frogs. All right. JK says, my neighborhood is one of the last to be plowed. That is lame. Long Beach says, I miss cross-country skiing in the woods right after a snow. The silence is wonderful, but still not enough to make me want to move back to snow country. You can always go visit it if you want. You know, you can always just go. I like being, if I want to visit winter, I can. I can go to the mountains in California. I can go to Flagstaff, Arizona. I could take a flight to Colorado or something. Or just, I can always book shows somewhere, too, if I want to. Yeah. And Matthew points out the inevitable truth. If we don't really address global warming, every other issue won't matter. And Matthew is right. And that is a swift, important call to action.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and